Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Spanish Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership by GridFinder.com, Nailcoat Hall, Driver61, and GT Omega. Big thank you to our sponsors for jumping on board, supporting the stream, and the league as a whole. I am Tim, back with my co-commentator, as always, the legendary Malk. How are you doing?
Oh, mate, thank you. I feel privileged for that legendary stuff, but you are a legend as well. I'm doing very well, Tim. I'm doing very well. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing fine. And you know, Malk, you really are a legend in the Invictus Racing League. You're doing at least 2 comms a week. That's what I know you're doing. I don't know if you're doing any more. Plus, you know, additional leagues, you take on a lot, and you don't get enough support. And I just decided, you know what? Let's just show him that he's doing a good job. So you're doing a good job, Malkin. I think we're both ready to watch some fantastic racing around. I forgot even where we were for a minute. Spain.
Yeah, we're at the Spanish Grand Prix at the I think it's Circuit de Barcelona or Catalonia, as always, at this iconic track in Spain as well. And it's really tricky. It's one of those tire decks. It's going to be absolutely atrocious, as it always will be, as well. So, but like I said, we've got this race going. We've got 2 more races after, you know, for round 14, round 15 in the next few weeks, and it's going to be like really close. And looking at the standings itself, it is getting really close between Russman, Polytrev, and also Stephen and IRL, and closely catching up is Neutragash as well. So, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting stuff. So, I can't wait. I can't believe we're near the end, Tim, and I reckon there'll be a few shocks in the next few races.
There really will be. This is starting to become one of the most intense battles that you and I have ever been able to commentate on in the Realistic Performance League. And as you mentioned, Neutragash, he's got 4 wins on the season. He's really been our late bloomer in this championship fight. But back there in 5th place with 137 points, you got to think that maybe all he has is a hope and a prayer to really catch Russman, who has been on an absolute tear, has been able to score points in every single race this season, and that means that there's been no DNFs for Russman, because you get points in this league even if you finish outside of the top 10. The only condition is you have to finish. So that means Russman has finished every single race and scored points in every single race. He's been very consistent. He retook the points lead last week. So I think that we really need to be looking at him and Party Trev as well. This is really becoming a 2-horse race, but don't count out Steven back there in 3rd. And ARL, he has mentioned that he is fighting as well. The championship is not over, and he is still sticking to his guns and trying to go for this fight.
Absolutely, and he's been trying everything he can. Just watching him now during his qualifying lap, so he's just trying to warm up his tyres at the Circuit of Barcelona, at the Catalonia track, and he's going to try and put on an absolute stellar job to try and get his perfect lap as well while he's doing his lap. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session. How you doing, guys? Hello, Blake. He says excited for today's race. We both are as well. Reeds, as always, each and every week. How you doing, mate? Your race as green as people. What a fine evening of racing we will have. Absolutely, absolutely. Keza says, evening people, I will inform you all with the weather we'll get it. Okay, thanks, Keza. ARL says, championship not over, giving it all. That's what he's trying to do as much as possible. He's done a 22.332. Rain says, Ted Keza. Yeah, Ted Kravitz is, Ted Keza, as I'm going to have to call him now. Looks like a dry quali and race, but 20% of chance of rain. That's what we've been told. And Sport, how you doing, mate? Your race is good evening, lads. Rain says, start or the end of the 20%. That's from the rain situation. And Keza said the whole race. So there could be a 20% chance of rain, but majority of the time will 80% at least will be a dry start. But ARL just coming up to the second into the 3rd. Let's see what we can try and do in the 3rd sector. I always think this 3rd sector, I don't know about you, Tim, the 3rd sector, especially the chicane at the end, I always mess up and probably get invalidated too much to the left hand side where the curb has just gone past and anything like that, and it's just very, very difficult, this track. But ARL, it did look like it was made it difficult because it's a 119.220, Tim.
Malk, I am going to have to agree with you on that, though. Personally, I hate the third sector, and when I say hate the third sector, I mean absolutely every single inch of the third sector at this racetrack. The first and second sector, they're really not that bad, but then you get into the third, and it's just like, it's kind of like you were driving down the road, and you were just driving into this most miraculous, beautiful sunset, only to literally drive off the face of the earth, is kind of how it feels.
Yeah, absolutely, mate, and you can't mess about at all. Oh, Party Trev! Will he have a party time in pole position at the end of the qualifying? We'll have to find out. 118.253. We got a debutant, actually. We got a debutant of Sunboy. 0109. How you doing, mate? You alright? Hope you came well. 118.785 on his debut in the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. Hello, Ellie. How you doing? Hope you came well. Like I said, guys, this is the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Not only from myself and Tim in the commentators box to help us out, as well as this stream on the YouTube channel for the Invictus Racing League. Thank you so much, guys. Be a massive help. And Tim, looking at the times itself, some of the drivers have gone for the soft, so like Ginger Tiger did a 118.868. Michael did a 117.648, Tim.
So Michael Lute up there at the top of the board in that Red Bull. We'll see if maybe he can go on and carry that momentum onto a good finish. Of course, Michael Luke just a few races ago was able to score his very first podium in the Invictus Racing League's Performance League, and he was ecstatic. In fact, that was last week that he was able to accomplish that feat. So congratulations to Michael. So far, he's got a little bit of momentum to carry into Spain, and it's looking good so far for him.
Yeah, he's doing an absolutely stellar job, but then like I said, the Portimao last week at the Portuguese Grand Prix. Like I said, we have to watch out for Russ. Stephen had the lap until the last few corners at turn 16. He's absolutely fuming, so he's going to have to try and go back into the pits to see what he can try and do for another lap. Keza, or Ted Keza, I'm going to have to call him now. He moves us up to second with a 117.825, Tim.
So go and take a look at the Alfa Romeo of Matty. We'll see what he's going to be able to do, except he's not going to be able to because he has invalidated his lap, so he's going to have to rack him, stack him, and try it again. Go ahead and take a look at Speed Queen 80 in the Haas car. Speed Queen 80. Now, she's in that Haas car. That means that she's been pretty fast so far, and she does have a handful of podiums, and realistically speaking, she has kept herself in the championship fight, at least until the last few races where she hasn't quite had the luck that she needed. As you see, she goes only 10th quickest with a 119.688, but without having a win, she still managed to be a championship contender with multiple podiums and staying consistent. So she has definitely had a decent season, if not an ideal season.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Speed Queen, she never gives up at all. She never ever gives up. And like I said, her best finishes was like third place, and she's had it 3 times in the 12 races in the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League as well. So, and again, she's still within the fight, but she needs to start getting second places and first if she wants to try and challenge the guys ahead who, like I said, with Rusmo, Poitrev, Stephen, IRL, and also Nitrogas. Those are the top 4 drivers that, top 5 drivers. I'm getting ahead of myself there. Those are the ones that need to watch out for, Tim.
So Sir Spud in the Mercedes finishing his lap. He goes to 10th, a 119.595. Sir Spud, another driver who has not had a win yet this season, but does have a handful of podiums. And we talked about it a few weeks, Malk, that he has 6 wins in this series. In the Performance League, he has 6 wins. He is second in all-time wins. There are 3 drivers tied for first with 7 wins apiece, and we've been saying all season long how Sir Spud needs to get 2 wins, and he can call himself the winningest driver in the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League. And so far, he has not been able to even accomplish 1 win, but I'm holding out hope that even if it doesn't happen this season, Sir Spud has not seen the last of the top spot of the podium.
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tim. He had the chance, a couple of times actually. He's had a few chances to get his first win on the bounce in this season. Stephen moves us up to 10th with a 119.466, but he's already done 4 laps, Tim. He's already done 4 laps of that soft tyre, so damage limitations on that tyre wear as well, so you have to watch out for it as much as possible. Just watching some of the drivers to try and come out is Polytrev doing his lap now. So coming up to the second sector now. This part where he is at the moment now, I think it's turn 7, turn 8, and this is the blind right-hander where you could easily go off onto the curb on the left to get that DRS, and you have to be very careful. And if you don't, you'll lose out massively. And he's also purple on second sector, Tim. So I'm just going to watch him for this lap, and then we'll find out what's going to happen. Because Polytrev will be fuming, I would think, from last week, because he lost quite a lot of points, and it brought, and I've said this again, he brought Rustman back into play in the championship hub. We're just watching the last corner, and we'll get your thoughts on it, Tim. Here we go, Polytrev! 117.688, misses out by 200 of a second, Tim.
Still cannot surpass Michael Luke in that Red Bull. I'm starting to wonder if maybe that's a deadly combination, having Michael in the Red Bull today. Of course, he's on his outlap, so there he is just behind Polytrev, interestingly enough. Decided to come out of the pits just behind his closest competitor on the leaderboard. Of course, you see those 2 cars giving way to Michael to make sure that he has room to get by them, so good sportsmanship there. We'll revisit Michael Luke once he gets back around and starts his flying lap. Let's take a look at our debut of Sunboy, who just went to 4th with a 118.321. Now we'll drop down to Ginger Tiger here in the Aston Martin. Ginger Tiger purple in the first sector. So far looking like a good lap. Let's see if he's going to be able to carry this momentum into the second and third sectors. Ginger Tiger just trying to, I guess, just end the season on a high note. He's really not in contention for the championship, and he hasn't been in contention for the championship for a while, but he's been here pretty much every single week, and he has stayed relatively consistent, scoring points, finishes, and getting some decent results. So Ginger Tiger, maybe he's another one of those drivers that maybe it's not been an ideal season for him, but it hasn't been a bad one, and he's got a lot of accomplishments this season that he can, personally hang his head high on. He has scored some podiums, and he has done a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few races where he has had some great racing, don't get me wrong, he's had some great luck, but then during the season, like mid-pack itself, he dropped off a bit and then started back up. It's like inconsistent as well, but he's still within the pack as well. And Russman did a 118.109, so that's a good time. Nigel Gash moves us up to 6th with a 118.348, who got himself in the podium in last night's F3 on the PlayStation platform as well. And like I said, just a couple of recaps from the comments. Reed says, I've seen a new bug going around where after a safety car period, another safety car will be deployed right after. No debris, no crashes, just a heads up. Thank you for that, Reed. I did not know that at all. Well, both of us did not even know that at all, so thank you for that, Reed. Keza says, hopefully it doesn't occur tonight. Will definitely ruin the race. Absolutely. I'm hoping that if we do get a safety car, that it doesn't cause the havoc of another safety car straight after, and it's going to cause havoc tonight, Tim.
Yeah, it really is, and it's just how it goes as Michael Luke goes into the pits. He had a good lap going for him. He was purple in the second sector, but out of the hairpin, he lost it just a little bit. He saved it, but by that time, you know that he just lost too much time on the lap, and so he has to pit, and he'll try it again. He's got just over 5 minutes to try it, so he's got plenty of time to get back out there. It's just unfortunate that he lost the lap right there, practically at the tail end, right as he was going into the third sector. And something has happened to Nitro Gash as he is retired. Apparently there is a crash, and Nitro Gash was involved, so unfortunate for the winner from just a few weeks ago that Nitro Gash...
and it's caused the Spud. And it's caused the Spud... it caused the Spud to go wide to avoid the crash. But Nitro Gash must have tried to get back into the pits, and must have caught... I didn't see it exactly, Tim, but my hunch was probably that he was trying to get back into the pits, and he must have caught the entrance or something, or must have spun out and lost that bit as well, Tim.
So now watching Sir Spud, he's decided to go out on the medium tires, 119.595 for Sir Spud. Of course, that was set on the soft tires, as the last lap he just did not have that because, as you said, he had to avoid Nitro Gash, who apparently crashed in just the final corner. So unfortunate for him. He can do no better than 8th place, and I feel like he might not even start in the top 10 because we've got one driver down there, Matty, who does not have a time yet on the board, but we will take a look at him. But he has invalidated once again. So both times that we've tried to look at Matty and see what lap time he's going to set, there's no lap time to see. So he's going to have to try it once again. So unfortunate for Matty, but the track is going to get faster, Malk. You know, we see it every single week. It's just how it works. The track is going to get faster, and with Nitro Gash not being able to get back out there, I do think that he is going to be at a huge detriment as far as starting position. But if he starts outside the top 10, that can benefit him because he can choose what tire compound he starts on. And if he chooses the medium tire and we have a safety car free race, then he might be sitting pretty at the end.
Yeah, it will. Absolutely. You'll just hope that there will be a majority of the people to try and get ahead of him and try and drop himself down to 11th. But very, very big risk as well. But he'll be fuming, Nitro Gash. He'll be fuming with that. But Michael and Russman are both out of their on their outlaps as well. Sab already retired from the session. He doesn't want to do a lap at all. Reigns says the last time I've seen this bug, was the safety car bug, was in 2017. Must be a late April Fool's prank. Lol. Yeah, probably is, Reigns, probably is. Oof for Nitro Gash, one of the favourites retiring with continuing track evolution. I mean, you do not want to make a mistake at this stage right now, unless it benefits you at the end of this race, because I've seen it's like 50-50, isn't it, Tim, where if you get crashed out at the qualifying and you might drop down a few positions or maybe drop to the back of the grid, you might be lucky and get yourself with the fresh tyres and then push yourself into probably a top 5 finish.
And that's quite possible, but of course, as we mentioned pretty much every week, is that it does depend a lot on safety cars. The reverse strategy, of course, you know I am a huge fan of the reverse strategy whenever I can figure out a way to get it to work. I absolutely love it. But sometimes it's just not practical, and even when it is, you still are at the mercy of those safety cars. If a safety car comes out before your pit window, then you are at a huge detriment, because then you have to think, well, okay, do I pit for another fresh set of mediums? Or do I go ahead and pit for the softs, which I know good and well will not make it to the end, forcing me into yet another pit stop and losing even more time. So no matter how you look at it, technically, no matter what you do, it's always a gamble, but especially with the reverse strategy, as much as it can pay off, if a safety car comes out at the wrong time, then you're just, left to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be at that stage now where you just don't want to mess about too much. Yellow flag, sectors 1 and also 2. There's quite a few cars. I don't know if you see that, Tim. There's quite a few cars in the second sector right here, right now, all bunched up together with about 1 minute left. 1 minute left of the qualifying. Can anyone try to stop Michael in pole position with 117.648? That is Victor. Rain says, what are the track temps? If any driver could inform us. Well, Michael's done a 17.1 now, so he moves up from 648 to 198. So improves by 5/10, Tim.
Watching Sir Spud as he's on his out lap and about to start his flying lap in the third sector now. And it's the third sector that you mentioned earlier, Malk. I've noticed that it has caught a lot of drivers out. We watched Russman's lap just a minute ago. Oh, wow, as Sir Spud actually has to get out of the way, or has to avoid Soldier Stone, who is just trying to leave room for his competitors behind, but kind of ran out of real estate on the racetrack. But it's that third sector that is really making or breaking these guys' lap times. Watching Russman's last time, at the end of the first sector, he was only 7 1/1000ths slower than his last lap. A very easy time to overcome in theory. But by the time he got back to the front straightaway, he had a little hiccup in the third sector. He was 8/10ths slower than his fastest lap. However, speaking of being faster, slower than your fastest lap, Sir Spud is now 1/10.5 quicker in the first sector than his fastest lap. So we might see Sir Spud jump up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh no,
how
he's slow, he's
suspension-
slow. Something happened to Sir Spud, and he went ahead and let the McLaren of Soldierstone go, so not sure why. He was already up on his time.
I think he just does not want to improve his time. I think he's trying to get it out of the top 10, which he probably has done now. IRL 117.923, Russman 118.1, Matty did a 118.5, Sunboy did a 118.057, but yeah, Spud's gone really slow. Oh, Steven, come up to the third sector there, come up to the final few corners, needs to push that pedal to the metal. If he can get in 118s, ninth place was Stephen, but he's also on the medium tyre, Tim.
So Stephen in ninth at the moment. Soldierstone, he just finished his lap, but it is not much of an improvement. Still fifth at 117.987 for the McLaren of Soldierstone. Now let's take a look at Ginger Tiger, but I think that he's already completed his lap, and he is diving down into the pit, so we don't have anyone to actually look at because the qualifying is now over. So the question has been answered. Can anyone beat Michael Luke? I don't think they can, at least not in the qualifying. It is a 117.198 for Michael Luke, and that is the pole time.
That is a really good time there from Michael, to be fair. Fantastic stuff. And like I said, I think he's got a form going, because he had second place last week in the Portuguese Grand Prix. And like I said, he had 11 points at the Netherlands. He had 17 points, which is fourth place. Then you got second place. Could this be the time that Michael will get his first win at the Invictus Racing League for the Performance League tonight? That's the big question of it all. But again, anything could happen in the Spanish Grand Prix, especially with the tyre deck, which we haven't mentioned about with the tyre wear, but we'll go through that in a minute or two. But let's go to Tim for the short qualifying classification.
And your official starting lineup for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Spanish Grand Prix is Michael Luke in first with a pole, Keza in second, Party Trev in third, ARL in fourth, Soldierstone in fifth, Sunboy making his debut in the sixth position, Ginger Tiger in seventh, Russman in eighth, Russman 88 in eighth, ninth is Steven, 10th is Nitro Gash, Maddie in 11th, 12th is Speed Queen 80, Sir Spud in the 13th position, JP in 14th, and then Turok in 15th, and then 16th belongs to Sab in the Red Bull. So the Red Bull starting first and last today.
Yeah, someone's definitely got, well, Michael's definitely got the wings itself. Fantastic stuff from Michael, but like I said, I think what Sab does is just gets the free tyre range, because I think he's just trying to save and then try and build his momentum throughout the grid itself. Just reading some of the comments there. BVZ02, I think that might be you, some boy. P6 in Williams, not bad. Yeah, absolutely not bad at all, to be fair. And ARL, sorry, is GG Sunboy as well. So, like I said, guys, this is the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, live exclusive for you guys on the YouTube channel. Please make sure you subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Will be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators, and a massive help to Invictus Racing League YouTube channel. So thank you so much, guys. If you could do that, press that like button as quickly as possible. It will be a massive help and try and boost on the stream as well. So I'm going to say this, Tim, because you always beat me to it. What's your top three for this week?
I was waiting on you to do that, Malk. All right, so I'm going to have to go with in any order. Michael
Okay.
Luke. We'll go with Michael Luke just because he's looking fast right now. We'll go with Party Trev and Soldierstone.
Okay. I'm going to say Michael, Party Trev, if he doesn't make a mistake, and I reckon Russman. You know, I don't know why, but I've got a feeling Russman might do the top three tonight. But that's my predictions, and you've got your predictions as well. If you are in the stream, guys, please send in your top 3 predictions, and if you do get that, it'll be a massive contribution to hear your thoughts of the top 3 finishing for this evening's Invictus Racing League, the Performance League, at the Spanish Grand Prix for round 13. We'll just hope there's not going to be any unlucky drivers in round 13. That's the big question of it all. But, Tim, I reckon this is going to be built up to a classic. And also, the clouds, what we've been told, there'll be a 20% chance of rain. Are we going to see the rain kicking in this race? That's my question.
I think we got some misinformation, Matt, because you say that we're getting 20% chance of rain. I'm saying, or what I heard was that it's dry. So I think we just need to wait and figure out just what happens. But it does look a little hazy and a little cloudy here, and honestly kind of surprised that we don't see any rain falling. But just imagine, though, a wet race at the end of the season. And now, granted, for those of you watching, this is not the last race of the season. We do have a handful of races left, but we are getting very close to the end of this season. So at the end of the season, throwing in a wet race just to make things interesting, that is something that you can't really write. You just have to let it happen.
You have to let it happen as well, but... yeah, you have to be at your very best at this track, and we always, I always remember this. You can never win a race in the first corner, but you can always lose out massively. So these guys are going to be careful not to make a mistake at turn 1, and also the rest of the track itself to make sure they don't mess up as well. So we've had a bit of tyre wear info of the tyre strategies. Now, from what I've been told in the F2 at the time, Tim, was you can do the soft hard, you can do soft medium, or soft medium to play it safe. But expect the pit stop to be between laps 6 and 10. That's where we'll see the differences from majority of the drivers tonight. And looking at this, Tim, Stevens the only one in the top 10 on the medium tyre, and the rest of the pack from 11th to 16th, they've all gone on the mediums, which is playing it safe. But Nodrigash missed out on outside the top 10, so he will be starting on the softs after he had that mistake and trying to get into the pits during the qualifying as well. So I cannot wait for it, Tim. Can you?
I can't wait either, Michael Luke, look at him there, though, just trying to keep heat in the tires. I'd say that he can't wait either, starting from the pole once again in that Rebel, and I think he had the pole last week, if I'm not mistaken, but unfortunately lost out and was able to rebound to a podium. So this is not Michael Luke's first pole position, but if he stays there for 33 laps, or really just is there on the last lap, then it could be his first win. But he has got 15 other very hungry drivers that are lining up behind him and ready to get around him and not even think about looking back as they round the final corner, and they will find their appropriate grid positions. This is going to be an interesting race if we've ever seen one. And as you said, all those drivers taking the medium tires outside the top 10, trying to play it safe. Those will be the last to pit. But I want to watch Steven. He seems to have decent pace there in 9th place, and he's in the Mercedes. And this is the realistic performance league, which means that the Mercedes is the fastest car. So, with that being said, Steven has set himself up very nicely for today.
Oh, absolutely, and cannot wait for it as well. So we'll talk about the tyre wear in more depth, in more as soon as we've done the qualifying. But Tim, I'll let you do the honours each and every week.
And each and every week it is an honor, Mouth. You hear those engine driving, you hear those EG pedal feet, the drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League, PlayStation Performance League, Spanish Grand Prix. Michael Luke leading him down into turn number 1 so far. A very calm line of cars, just 2 by 2. But someone looking on the inside. Is that going to be Keza going into turn number 1 on Michael Luke? Yes, it is. But does he get the position, or will Michael Luke be able to fight back on the inside? Michael Luke is going to try to fight back, but Keza makes the move around him and takes the lead from Michael Luke out of turn number 2. Now the Red Bull right on the back of the Alpine, trying to go around the outside line. But is he going to be able to use this momentum to carry him around the outside to get around Keza. No, he's not going to be able to. Keza's going to keep the position, but Michael Luke is going to battle back hard on the inside, and he clears him into this corner, but he goes a little bit wide on the exit, and Keza is able to get right back underneath him. It is constantly the old switcheroo between the Alpine and the Red Bull. Some contact, Michael Luke, he is off the track. He is off the track, and is that Keza as well? Keza is off the track. Both the cars are off the track. Party Trev has inherited the lead. ARL and Soldier Stone, your top three now, and ARL trying to give chase to Party Trev and find a way to get around him. Soldier Stone right on the back of ARL, trying desperately to just give his teammate a little bit of a push, is how you say, into that corner, but you can't actually push him or you're going to have front wing damage, and you really don't want to have to deal with that. But after a hectic first lap, it's going to be Party Trev, ARL, and Soldier Stone, your top three, with Ginger Tiger and Rustman, your top five.
That is absolutely manic scenes at the Invictus Racing League, Performance League, and now Soldier Stone could be closing in on ARL without the DRS itself. So here we go. Speed Queen's out. Retired. Virtual safety car, Tim. Virtual safety car.
So a virtual safety car. This could turn into a full course safety car if they can't get the car cleaned up, so we'll have to wait and see. The question is, though, this early on, do these drivers really want a safety car?
Not this stage, no. It's far too early. I mean, if you made a mistake and pitted, then you would go for like either mediums. If you started on the softs, then go on the mediums. But that is, I don't know if she had, if Speed Queen had any contact or anything like that, because it'll be really unfortunate for her now. So Speed Queen, who she was battling out for the top six, won't be able to get any points this evening. Looks like the virtual safety car will be about to end soon, but can ARL try and close the gap to Pyotrev? That's the big question of it all. But the shock of it all is there was a bit of, there might have been some contact between, well, there is definitely been contact between from Michael's car and also from Keza's car, losing out at turn 7, and I think we are back live and racing, Tim.
And it will not be a full course safety car, but Party Trev did not get the best of starts compared to ARL, so ARL, he might have a shot at him going into turn number 1, but just as I say that, it looks like Party Trev was able to find a little bit of momentum off of that corner that might just be able to keep that Alpine ahead of the Aston Martin. It's going to be very close going into turn 1, but ARL is going to run out of room here and have to follow Party Trev through these first set of corners and wait for another passing opportunity. But ARL knows exactly what he has to do. He really only has about a hope, a chance, and a prayer at winning this championship, more so than a legitimate fighting chance. But he doesn't care. He told us earlier before the race that he is still going after it because it's not over yet, and he is doing today exactly what he has to do, running in second place with the leader in sight and hot on his heels with his teammate behind him, Soldier Stone. Now, if you're a little bit confused on that, that is because in the Realistic Performance League, you're not always paired with your teammate. In fact, it's very rare to be paired with your teammate. So your teammate could be driving an Alpine and you could be in a Mercedes. It all depends on your pace as far as what car you're allocated to, but you still score points for your named team.
Absolutely. I'm glad you explained that, because if I explained it, I would have been rubbish at explaining stuff on there. But yeah, like I said, if you're in the it's not theoretically in the same team itself. It's more, as Tim rightly said, you could be in the Mercedes and someone else could be in the Alpine car, but it's the team name that you'll be there. So Pyotev's got the fastest of the race, win on 122.082. Pyotrev lost the pole position now. Keza to the 21.940, Tim, for the fastest lap.
So ARL, that was a fantastic pass on Party Trev going into turn number 1. Party Trev trying to find a way back around that Aston Martin. You know, Party Trev, though, in second place in the point standings entering this race, and he is so far ahead of his competitor. And if I'm doing my math correctly, if the race were to end at this very second as they run in these positions, Party Trev would inherit the lead once again from Rustman. So that just goes to show how close they are. Rustman running in 5th at the moment, Party Trev in 2nd, as you can see in the Alpine car there on your screen. Soldier Stone back there in 3rd. He's really just kind of staying there. I think at this point he's trying to help his teammate, you know, win this race and have a chance at this championship. At the same time, they are locked in a constructor's battle. So ARL and Soldier Stone, they have named their team Jeff's New Friends. They are in second place in the Constructors with 271 points. 293 points, however, belong to Sir Spud and O'Steven, both of which drive for multi-stop racing. Now, we were telling you that it's rare to be paired with your teammate, but that is just what happened today with O'Steven and Sir Spud, both of them in the Mercedes, and that's only happened one other time with a separate team. I think it might have been Jeff's new friends earlier this year, I think around the Red Bull Ring, but Soldier Stone making a move on Party Trev into turn number 1 on the inside. It's going to be a side-by-side battle with Party Trev fighting hard on the outside. That turns into the inside line, but oh my goodness, Party Trev, he is off the track. He's off the track. He's wrecked out of the session. Championship implications, if we've ever seen them. Something massive has happened to Party Trev, and we saw that on stream, but it looked like he just spun, and then there was front wings flying everywhere, and it just goes to show that one little mistake, and now his championship hopes, while not absolutely thrown in the trash, have now been brought into jeopardy.
Oh my God, we got our first safety car. That is not the oh my God. It's oh my God, Party Trev. That is gobsmack mode, because Party Trev, who had a shocker last week in the Portuguese Grand Prix, now has made an even shocker as well at the Spanish Grand Prix, and now his only hope is if Russman and O'Steven, who both of them are in top 4 and top 6 respectively, they are in for a decent amount of points. And at the moment, the way it looks at the minute, Russman will be the new, well, I say new, he was still in the lead, but he'll still be extended his lead in the driver standings as well. Just reading some of the comments from the chat as well. Reid says Russman, Nigel Luke, Michael was in the top 3 predictions. Oddball podium was Spud, Speed Queen or Tarak. Reid says I think the softs will go well in these cool conditions. I think you are right, because it is, because it's not as bad as like if it was really heated up on the track itself. Reid says there goes one of the oddball, the outsiders, that was Speed Queen. And then Ryan, how you doing, mate? Good evening to you. He says, come on, Nigel Gash. He says, too good. Power Nigel Gash will win. Oh, Nigel Gash, he's too good. That's what we've got a fan for Nigel Gash, which is Ryan on there. So good evening to you, mate. I hope you came well. But majority of the drivers have all gambled for the mediums, except for O'Steven, Nigel Gash, and Tarak. They have gone for the hard tyre. Do you agree with that, Tim, or do you think they should have gone for the mediums again?
Well, if the hard tire is really a race tire around here, then I think that with this being an early safety car, that might be the best bet. Realistically, O'Steven, he was running about, midway in the top 10, maybe a little bit toward the rear of the top 10. So this could actually help his race. We have seen O'Steven, have races before where he has pitted for the hard tires under safety cars, and then it's went green the whole way, and he's actually been able to get some results. So I think that this could actually be beneficial for O'Steven. But to talk about what happened to Party Trev, I went back and watched the stream. Unfortunately, we did not have the best of views of what happened, but going into turn number 2, he clipped the inside curb, and it looked like the car went a little bit wide. I'm assuming him trying to save it, because I imagine that curb just kicked the car into a bit of a slide. And as he was trying to save it and going wide, obviously he just couldn't, and he spun off the track, hit the wall, and it was done from there.
It's a shame. It was a shame, because I would have liked to see if Party Trev could have challenged a lot on the standings itself. But yeah, it's just mad scenes with and he'll be absolutely devastated. And I'm hoping that's not going to dent any confidence boost, especially at this stage when you've got 2 more races remaining. There's about 54 points, would you say? Like 25, 27, no, 56, sorry. There's 56 points after tonight's race. Obviously, there's 2 races left. 28 points is the maximum you can get, with 2 points for the pole position and 1 point for the fastest lap if you're in the top 10 as well. So there is still plenty of points left, and we just want to see how it goes. Oh, sorry, Ryan. You just said you were a JP fan. Yeah, JP's doing really well. He's in first place. And I'm sorry, Ryan. I thought the way you sounded like on the chat, it's just like, oh, Nigel Gash. I thought he was a big fan as well, but you do appreciate it. No worries. Sorry about that, mate. But yeah, Tim. I mean, and Sab in 4th. Sporting third, Matty in second as well. Still, I'm still gobsmacked because this is going to be. I know the top four will have to pit after, but they'll be hoping that there'll be another safety car later on in the race. But the safety car's going back into this lap, Tim.
And JP and his fan there in the chat. Well, we're about to go for a ride. We will ride on board with JP as we start to see just what kind of start JP gets. But instead of riding on board and looking out the front, as beautiful as a clean racetrack is, we are going to turn off all our graphics and look straight out the back of that AlphaTauri car, back to the pack behind him to see just what kind of start he does or does not get. But remember, JP, being the leader on the safety car restart, he is the control car. He gets to decide when to go as long as it's before the start-finish line. It is completely up to his discretion, and he's kind of toying with him a little bit now, but there he goes, and he gets a fantastic start. Look at the gap that he put between him and second place. JP motoring down the front straightaway into turn number 1. A good start from the AlphaTauri driver.
Absolutely, and we also got a battle for 5th and 6th. It looks like IRL trying to make the move onto Sam, but could not make the battle go. Michael's got ahead of Nitrogas on. Oh my god! IRL and Sam! IRL making a move! Oh, brilliant! Brilliant move! They're still going on the inside! Brilliant stuff from IRL! Out of nowhere! On turn 3, yellow flag's up to 1. Yellow flag's up to 1. Ginger Tiger drops down to 8th. That might be Keza. Keza's gone wide. Keza's gone off track actually, so something must happen to Keza, Tim.
And unfortunate for Keza, just a bad day going to worse. He was off on the first lap, and now he's off on the 8th lap. Soldier Stone there in 6th place, though still on the back of Sab as they go up this right-hander. And be careful, Soldier Stone, you're getting on that curb a little bit. You can touch it a little, and you'll be okay. You touch it too much, you're going to spin, and you're going to be upset. But going into this very slow corner now, and it's really just a line of cars at the moment. This has got to be so very frustrating for Soldier Stone and Sab, but good run from Sab so far, being in the 5th position. I know that he's been really hard on himself this season. It's not been the results that he's wanted. We talked, throughout the whole qualifying about, drivers having good seasons or decent seasons and not ideal seasons. Sab has barely had a season at all, and it's not for the lack of effort. It's not for the lack of trying. He has done everything that he can, and he's still doing so as Soldier Stone is trying to make a move around that Red Bull, but Sab is not going to let him have it easy. He's going to fight tooth and nail for every single position that he can, and it's going to be side by side into turn number 1 and turn number 2, and this time they get away cleanly. Soldier Stone not getting the move, though, because Sab refuses to give up. Sab might actually be able to clear him. Does Sab do it, though? Now we got 3 cars. Russman, he's involved now. So Russman trying to capitalize and get 2 for the price of 1, but Sab ultimately wins out on that little battle over Soldier Stone, but it's not over yet. A lockup from Soldier Stone might give Sab a little bit of breathing room, but it's only a matter of time until that McLaren starts fighting back again.
Go on, Sab! That was brilliant battle, and he kept it going. That's what we would like to see from Sab, and still going. But Soldier Stone will be on his tail at the moment. But Soldier Stone trying to put the pressure on as much as possible. But either way, I'm hoping Sab will keep on going. Michaels goes back up to 9th. Nigel gets closing in on Steven. Ginger Tiger's dropped down. Ginger Tiger's dropped down all the way to 13th place. He had a mistake at turn, I think that might be turn 12, I think it is, turn 12. So he must have made a mistake there. ARL, DRS is now enabled. ARL trying to close the gap onto the spot. He'll make the move on the inside line. We got also Sab and Soldier Stone goes side to the bed moment. Oh, Soldier Stone trying to keep on the inside. Is Sab holding on? Sab trying to hold on, but I think Soldier Stone has made the move. I think he has made the move, Tim.
Contact into the back of the McLaren from Sab, and now Sab has to deal with the AlphaTauri, pretty much the sister team of Red Bull. If we're going to be honest here, Russman trying to find a way around Sab, but quite just cannot do it just yet. Savvy's really not going to take no for an answer here. Oh, but he has to because he spins off the track into the grass. So Sab, that is just a heartbreak. That is an absolute heartbreak from Sab, and he has retired from the session.
Oh no, Sab. He was doing so well. If he got caught by the curb or the grass, I always hate that corner at turn 7. I just can never master it at all. But if you get caught by the curb too early or like on the grass, it's a killer. I feel bad for Sam. I'm hoping he'll bounce back next week in the Singapore Grand Prix. Michael got the fastest up the race with 121.439. So IRL goes back up to third against the Spud. But yeah, I hope Sam will come back and try and bounce back as quickly as possible into the Singapore Grand Prix team.
Hopefully so. But Sab, it's not going to be a good day for him today, unfortunately. And it's such a shame because, like you said, he just used a little too much curb and then he spun into the wall, and we really needed to see a good battle from Sab. As we were saying, it has not been the season that he has wanted, and it's definitely a forgettable season, but this was a highlight. Even though it ended in a wreck, it was definitely a highlight for Sab's season, and I think that we need to commend him for the driving that he was able to do. That was a fantastic battle there with Soldier Stone.
Yeah, he did. He had some great moves as well. He was holding on for dear life, but he could not do anything about it when Soldier made the move into 5th. But he tried everything he could. But unfortunately, he'll have to he'll have a DNF during this race as well. Michael chasing the pack onto Russman. We'll watch Michael's point of view because he'll be on the DRS and there'll be a DRS train, which you absolutely loved, Tim. With DRS trains galore. Michael with the fastest up the race with 121.292. Matty drops down. IRL moves up 2 seconds. So at the moment, Tim, the way it looks at the minute, I'm not doing it as a commentator's curse, but I think the way it looks is if IRL could be on for a perfect finish in first. I know it's early doors, Tim. I know it's early doors with a third of it already done, but that's what it looks like, Tim.
That's what it's looking like, but it's not over until that checkered flag flies. However, I know that ARL, he would rather it fly pretty much the second he takes the lead so that he doesn't have to worry about the rest of the race. But unfortunately, it's not quite how it works in the Invictus Racing League. We have got to go to lap 33, and we're not quite halfway yet. I think officially halfway would be about lap 16 or 17 or somewhere along those lines. So we're not there quite yet. Lap 12 of 33, as we've said, this has been the Invictus... Oh, what's going on now?
Sorry to the team. Soulstone and Spud. Soulstone tried to make the move, but he could not do it against Spud. But Spud holding on. Tim, Spud is holding on, but Soulstone, we have to watch out for him. He'll be on that DRS train to try and challenge Spud.
And riding on board with Russman, as we can see just out the front. And oh, Russman, he's having trouble in that third sector. He has had trouble in the third sector all day long. And he has got a hungry Michael Luke right on his rear end. And with DRS active, Michael Luke is going to try to make this move around the AlphaTauri. But is he going to be able to make it stick? No, because Russman, he's got the DRS off of Soldier Stone. So it is that DRS tree that you were talking about, Mal. Michael Luke, he got a little bit closer to Russman, but not enough to even think about making a move. Meanwhile, Soldier Stone still trying to fight hard with Sir Spud. But another DRS train with Sir Spud, Soldier Stone, and Matty. It is pretty much the reality that we're living in at this moment. And, you know, if it's bad for us watching it, if it's bad just knowing, you know, that these drivers can't get around, imagine what it's like for the drivers themselves, because it seems so futile to have to, you know, drive down the straightaway and you're trying desperately to make the pass because you know you're faster than that guy, but you can't. And that is just the added element of how it is so difficult to do well in these races.
It is. You have to be at your very, very best and get your time management and also ARS management to be on the ball itself. Absolutely on the ball. Rain says Luke is going to have a field day now. He is having a fantastic moment to try and put himself back up. He did that. I think he did that again last week in the Portuguese Grand Prix, if I remember it right. Ellie says, so much action already. It was only lap 11. That was a few laps ago. But yeah, Ellie, I mean, oh, sorry, son! Get in! Oh, get in! Spud has made a massive mistake, and now Spud could. Oh, I thought he might lose out. He might lose out 2 positions actually, because Russman made the move. Is he going to make the move, or is he just teasing us? I think he's teasing us, Tim. I think he's teasing us. Is he? Is he? No? Yes? Maybe? 50-50? Do you want to phone a friend? Do you want to ask the audience to find out whether Russman will try and make the move on Spud? We'll do the votes in a moment, but let's see how it goes. But at the moment, Spud holding on for dear life for 5th.
And Russman, he had maybe a small chance to get around Sir Spud, but ultimately decided not to make that move. And it was probably wise because they're still locked in that DRS train. And you could see that Sir Spud right there at the end, he was able to gain just a little bit more speed over Russman. And now Michael Luke, he might be trying to get around Russman here. Of course, they've been locked in the battle for a few laps so far, so pretty much no change there except the fact that Michael Luke is pretty much on the gearbox of that AlphaTauri. Oh wow, and a big lunge on the inside for Michael, and maybe a little bit of contact on the exit, but I think he got the move done and dusted, and he is clear of the AlphaTauri. Move Michael Luke up into the 6th position. I know he's got 7 laps on those soft tires, so really those soft tires should be wearing out, but why don't you tell the tires that?
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be screaming like a madman itself. But Sunboy in the Williams car catching up to Russman, who Russman's done 8 laps already. Sunboy just done 12 laps and he's in the Williams car and chasing in the top 8 as well. So absolutely fantastic stuff. And Solar Stone has moved up to 3rd place. He's chasing JP for 2nd place. Michael trying to close the gap on Spud, but can't do anything about it at the moment. But yeah, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there might be a 7-car DRS zone train as well coming up soon, but hopefully we'll get that sorted with so many overtakes galore, Tim.
And Sir Spud still running in the 5th position. He's been able to put a little bit of distance between himself and Michael Luke. Right after Michael pretty much got sort of close to him after making the move to Russman, but Michael, he's really a man on a mission right now. He got the pole, and then right there in the 1st lap, him and Keza went off in the 2nd sector, and now he's just trying to recover, and that must be why he put those fresh set of softs on. Of course, they're not fresh now. They're 8 laps old, so he's going to have to start thinking about pitting sooner rather than later. However, I do believe that he's getting very close to his pit window and that he can go on the medium tires and go to the end of this race. So is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing for Michael Luke? I guess we're going to have to wait and find out. But he is pitted now, so undoubtedly going to go on the medium tires, and he should be going to the end.
Yeah, should be going to the end with the medium tyres, you would expect anyway, unless it's a madman and going on the softs again as well, but it'd be bad itself. But he's already on the medium, so he's doing a still have a job to try and catch up to what he had done from the mistake at lap 1 itself. But at the moment, on nearly the halfway marker, IRL is in 1st place, JP is in 2nd, Soulstone is in 3rd.
And Mount Soldierstone, he is getting close to JP. He just about had a move on him. He is right on the back of that car, and I thought for a minute that he was actually going to make contact with JP, but somehow, some way, Soldierstone was able to keep his front wing off the gearbox of the AlphaTauri, and now JP is putting a little bit of distance between the two, but Soldierstone, he should have the benefit of the DRS here down this little straightaway to at least get him a little bit closer to that AlphaTauri.
Yeah, you would expect that. You would expect that from Soulstone. Yellow flag, sector 3. Kesa is the next person to retire, but he's retired in the pits. It's a shame because Kesa had some decent pace. It was just a shame that what happened at lap 1, and it went from bad to worse. And now JP is going himself into the pits now, and Soulstone trying to chase IRL for 1st. Just waits to Spud now under a lot of pressure from Russman and also Sunboy in that medium tyre in the Williams car on his debut as well. I think he's done a fantastic race so far. Russman! Brilliant move there. All contact between Russman and Spud has got to the back of Russman, so I don't know whether he's had any damage limitations to him.
I don't see any wing damage on the front wing of the Mercedes, so I think Sir Spud might be okay, and he is getting a little bit closer to Russman, so maybe it's just a tiny little hiccup that he can otherwise recover from. But look at Sunboy, as you mentioned, right on the back of Sir Spud. So literally, the debut driver today is in a fierce battle with one of the seasoned veterans of the PlayStation Performance League. You just cannot write this at the Spanish Grand Prix, and he might just be able to overtake that veteran. Here goes Sunboy looking on Sir Spud, looking on the inside. He tries to outbrake him. He leaves room. Sir Spud leaves room. Good hard racing, a lot of respect there, but still a fierce battle, and Sunboy might be able to win out, but Sir Spud ultimately on the inside line, having that preferred line around that corner. I think he's going to be able to clear the Williams. Yes, he does, but he does not get the ideal line into this next set of corners, and that could really hurt Sir Spud. But through the chicane, he is able to get as most of the ideal line as he can and dives down into the pits. He's decided that enough is enough on these tires, and I need a new one. So now Sunboy moves into 4th, Rustman into 3rd, and you mentioned earlier that Soldier Stone was in 2nd place trying to give chase to his teammate, but really Soldier Stone being in 2nd, that is the best thing for ARL right now, because when it comes time for them to make their pit stops, they both have 11 laps on those medium tires. ARL can pit first if they want to, and Soldier Stone can try to hold up Rustman, can try to hold up Sunboy, can try to hold up Nitrogash to try to make sure that ARL is as close to them as possible when they inevitably have to make their stops.
Well, absolutely insane stuff as well. And I was just about to say, Reed says no penalties after. That was on lap 16, 17 message. And guess what? JP is the first driver to have the penalty of the race. So you must have jinxed that, Reed. So Amy, how you doing, Amy? How you doing? You okay? This is Vark Tech. So yeah, hopefully. We'll see how. I mean, we haven't. You know who we haven't mentioned about at all, Tim? Tarak. Tarak is in 8th place at the moment. But at the moment, Michael's trying to put the pressure on JP for 9th. But we haven't mentioned about Tarak at all during this race. So he's just steadily going through the grid itself, Tim.
Yeah, Tarak. He's one of those drivers that, for the most part, usually has a quiet race, and then you're not really talking about him until toward the end. So he can qualify in 9th or 8th place, somewhere around there, and then 5 laps from the finish, you find him battling for like 4th place with a chance at a podium. So Tarak is one of those drivers that just mostly stays quiet, stays out of everyone's way, but he's going to be there at the end at certain moments, and when he is there, you definitely know it, as Michael Luke finally got the move on JP, so moved that Red Bull up into the 9th position. Fresh set of mediums on that car, so he can now give chase to Tarak, who has got an old set of hard tires, but Tarak should be able to go to the end on the hard tires, shouldn't he, as well as Nitrogash and O'Steve?
Oh yeah, the hard tires will definitely last all the way to the end of the race, no problem at all. But remember, the tyre wear will be fine. It's the slower tyre. It's the slower tyre, so they have to be watch out for that as well. Yellow flag set to 2. That is. I tell you what. We mentioned Tarak saying how well he's done, and look at that. At turn 7, he drops himself down to 12th place because of a mistake at lap on turn 7 itself. We're just going to say no driver name at all. We don't want to put the commentator's curse on any other driver at all. But I hope Tarak will bounce back and get himself into the top 10 as quickly as possible. With some boy, the Williams driver, with 17 laps already with those medium tyres. So fantastic stuff for him in 7th place, Tim.
Well, Malk, you said that we're not saying any driver's name, so I'm riding on board with a black and blue car, and he's giving chase to a papaya orange car for 4th and 5th position. It's Nitrogash and O'Steven, by the way. We're not actually going to not say names, but I had to work that in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you could have said there's a Mercedes driver and a McLaren driver battling out in the top 5. But who knows? Who knows? It's yellow flags. Tarak has retired from the session, which is a shame because he had a steady race during the Invictus Racing League, the Performance League. But the only battle we've got at the moment, guys, but the only battle at the moment on lap 20 of 33 is Nitrogash and O'Steven for 4th and 5th. Now, this is where it gets interesting, Tim. Rustman at the moment is in 3rd place, 20. So, at the moment, depending on if he has had the fastest lap, which I doubt, I think it's Michael Lute who had the fastest lap. I'll try and do that quick. Yeah, Michael's got the fastest lap. So, at the moment, Rustman, 20 points. He would have the big 200 itself. Yeah, it's big 2-0. Pyotrev will stay on 176 because of his DNF. O'Steven, 16 points. 16 points is so for 180. So he'll be joined with joined. He goes ahead of Pyotrev. ARL, 25 points at the moment. 182, 187. The way it looks at the moment, and Nitrogash in 4th. 17 points, 167, 1740.
I'm glad that you're here to do the math, because quite frankly, I am not. I'm not good at math. I failed a lot of math classes and math tests in my lifetime, so I'm glad that you're there.
It's all right, mate. We'll decide it on a drink after all this. To be fair, but at the moment we're still battling out with Nitro Gash and Steven for 4th and 5th. At the moment, it's been a great race. So many battles at the Spanish Grand Prix, which we did not expect at all. But so far, so good. And we only had one penalty, and that was from JP so far in this race. If you like what we see so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. It will be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators, and a massive help to the stream on the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel. And also, one more thing is, Keza just said, unfortunately, 2 events at the start and again on lap 8. Also, put me too far back to get into it. Luckily, Super is my favourite track, so I'll be hunting for both wins next week in F2 and RP. Honestly, how you doing, mate? He says, come on, Joel, JP too good, JP too cold. So, JP, we've got some JP fans in the chat as well. And Rain says, I saw that, Keza, very unfortunate. Tip.
And speaking of JP, he is in a battle with Sunboy now. Sunboy, fresh medium tires on that Williams, trying to move through the pack and might be able to get the 8th position from JP here soon rather than later. Of course, with that time penalty hanging over his head, JP will lose out at the finish regardless. So if this race were to finish right now, Sunboy would at least get the 8th position, but JP still out there chugging along and trying to fight and recover whatever he possibly can. Of course, that time penalty isn't the end of the world, but losing 3 seconds at the end of a race, we have seen it happen many times, Malk. It has lost people races. It is, even cost people chances at championships.
Yeah, absolutely. It costs us some dearly, so they've got to be careful not to cause any havoc at all. But at the moment, Nitro Gash and Steven are still battling out for 4th and 5th. But we'll watch this battle for 8th and 9th just now. Sunboy on those fresh mediums might get a few. Do you reckon Sunboy will get a few positions after he passes JP? The way it looks, late move. Oh no, he can't make the move yet. So Sunboy might have a chance. Going to the curb a little bit at turn 2. Now going to the long right-hander at turn 3. But JP holding on to him for dear life for 8th.
And on board with Sunboy, so we can see just what he's doing in that car. And you can see he got a big run onto JP there just out of that corner, but ultimately ran out of room to try to make the pass. He keeps having a little bit of a look. It's like he's trying. He just knows that he can't make it stick, so he has to back out, but he's there just in case he can find a chance, any opportunity to make a move.
Absolutely, and JP trying everything he can to hold on for dear life, but Sunboy can't make that move just yet. But I'm just trying to look. So Sunboy's got about 75% of ERS. JP's only got 25% of ERS. So this is where Sunboy needs to capitalise on the straight line speed, and hopefully that JP will try and get out of the last corner as quickly as possible. And so, Sunboy caught the curb, and now coming to the last corner, turn 16. DRS zone now. This is where damage should be taken to JP, holding on for dear life, trying to get onto the racing line. Sunboy goes topside. They're still going topside too. Oh, that was close, Tim. That was close for contact, but Sunboy got himself ahead in 8th place, Tim.
So good run by Sunboy there to finally get around JP, and now he can set his sights on Michael Luke, but that is 6.3 seconds that he is going to have to make up to find that Red Bull unless we get a safety car. I kind of feel like maybe that's a little bit of a stretch and that Sunboy might just have to settle for 8th, but you cannot tell a driver to settle for a position because they're just going to fight even harder for whatever they're already after.
Absolutely, and it's yeah, it just all depends on how it all goes out. So it should be alright itself, but I have to wait and see how it all goes. Rain says the hard tires should kick in for Nitro and O'Steven compared to the top 3. Do you agree with that statement, Tim?
Can you tell me again?
Tires. Sorry, the hard tires should kick in for Nitro and O'Steven compared to the top 3.
Yeah, that they should actually. Now, of course, as you were saying, they are the harder compound and the slower compound tire. But the thing with those harder compound tires is it just takes a few more laps for them to really get up to speed. Now, sure, you're not going to be able to run on 5-lap old mediums the stellar times that you would be able to run on an ideal, perfect, fresh set of softs with the perfect temperature in them, just because it's not how it works. The soft tires are always going to be the faster compound. But those medium tires and those hard tires, once you finally work them in for a few laps, you get enough heat into them and you get enough laps onto them, you can find a lot more grip than what maybe you were expecting on those tire compounds. So with those hard tires being able to last so long, now should be about the time that, they start to feel pretty decent. The thing is, though, Nitro Gash and O'Steven both pitted on the same lap for the same compound tire, and they've been locked in the same battle for what seems to be forever, when realistically it's probably only about 3 or 4 laps at this point. So they seem to be fairly even as far as driver ability and tire wear, and not quite car performance, because the McLaren is a little bit slower than the Mercedes. But beyond that, these two drivers seem fairly even on track, so I think that's why it's mainly just a game of follow the leader instead of a lot of jostling around for positions.
Absolutely. And at this stage now, Tim, Nitro Gash and O'Steven, they're having a battle, and they don't want to be at this stage because they're losing time to the top 3. The way it looks at the moment, it's like nearly 5 seconds is the gap between Nitro Gash and Russman. These guys will be hoping that there'll be a safety car in a matter of moments, you would say. But Russman getting close to Silverstone, the two F3, the two drivers, battling out for second and third. JP got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so I believe he has got 6. He's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. So at the moment, on lap 26, about 8 laps remaining. Yeah, some boy is the second driver to get the penalty. Sorry, for 3-second time penalty. Oh no! O'Steven has spun. O'Steven has spun. Tim, at turn 12.
Well, I think that Nitro Gash finally gets a little bit of a breather, but O'Steven, he's getting the raw end of that deal. Unfortunately, a spin is going to see his opportunity to get the 4th position from Nitro Gash pretty much fly out the window. It is now 7 seconds separating those two drivers, and only 1.1 second, now less than a second, separating O'Steven and Michael Lute. And that just goes to show you that O'Steven was not able to get the run down the straightaway that he needed, all because of that spin. And it happened 2 corners from the straightaway, but he still did not have enough speed and enough momentum to carry onto the front straightaway. So it's not always just one corner. Sometimes you are setting yourself up 3 corners ahead.
Definitely, because you just need to make sure you get that rhythm going and try and make sure you get everything spot on, really, and try and remember where you place your car and where you try and get into that corners as quickly as possible. But at the moment, a majority of the drivers are all a little bit spread out, except for Michael, who's slowly catching up to O'Steven, who had that unfortunate spin, and hopefully lightning doesn't strike twice. But Michael, I will be wondering, if Michael did not have that spin at lap 1, would he have won the race? Would he have batted out with IRL for the top 2? Would he have batted out for top 3? He's going through the pack like no man's business, like a domino effect, as quickly as possible. But it's just a shame for Michael. He should have had a decent running, but he has done well with the qualifying, but he just cannot get into that great position in the race in itself. But he might have a chance to make the move to O'Steven, 4th, 5th. He might have a chance. Oh no! He can't get that rhythm going, Tim. He cannot make the move. Going, come on. He's still going, Tim. He's still going.
And Michael Luke still, as you said, just trying to recover, but cannot quite find a way around O'Steven. These are 2 of the fastest cars on the racetrack, at least as far as performance. And O'Steven, he's got to understand that he does have the pole sitter of this race breathing down his neck. Now, granted, Michael Luke has 11 laps on those medium tires, so while they can definitely still go to the end of the race, they are reaching the latter half of their life, whereas those hard tires have, sort of started to come alive. And sure, they're reaching the latter half of their life as well, but I think that O'Steven might have a little bit more benefit as far as tire wear goes than what Michael does. But where O'Steven has tire wear, Michael Luke seems to have raw pace, as we've seen in the qualifying and as we've seen with him being able to, overtake Sunboy and get to O'Steven. Of course, O'Steven did spin, and it gave Michael Luke a little bit of a bone there. But regardless, Michael Luke just trying everything he can, and I do echo your sentiments, Malk, that if Michael had not had that off on the first lap, where would he be in the standings? He joined the Realistic Performance League rather late, and now we see him actually making a move around O'Steven into turn number 1, or trying to, but cannot quite do it. But he joined this league rather late, and he's now finally starting to get comfortable and finally starting to find his footing in this league. So maybe we're starting to see the early version of what Michael Luke is going to be in the Performance League.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely, definitely. But yeah, Mad sees it's just unfortunate he's had that happened again in the Portuguese Grand Prix, but he got himself into the top 3 last week. But it'd be a mammoth task for him to get into the top 3, mammoth task. But at the moment, IRL is in first place, so second. Rusman in third, Nitrogash fourth, O'Steven fifth, Michael in sixth, Sunboy in 7th on his debut, JP is in 8th, Matty is in 9th, Ginger Tiger in 10th, and Spud in 11th place. Ginger Tiger just got ahead of Spud while we was watching this battle. Spud in 11th. Tarak, Keza, Sab, Polytref and Speed Queen are the only drivers who have had the DNFs during this race. And now Michael's got a great opportunity now to make the move on to O'Steven. Michael now moves himself up to 5th place, and now could be on to challenge Nitrogash if he gets his laps going. But now Michael in 5th place, Tim.
And you got to think that Michael Luke, he's been hoping for a safety car, and of course we're too close to the end now for a safety car to come out. But had it came out, Michael would have been sitting very pretty as far as, you know, at least having a chance to contend for the podium. But so far it looks like it's going to be what you see is what you're going to get. Soldierstone, though, starting to get a little bit closer to his teammate there of ARL, and he's really needs to start pulling away because Soldierstone does have a time penalty, so that is not going to help ARL in his championship chances, because Rustman already leading the points going into this race, running in 3rd. He will inherit the 2nd position from Soldierstone when this race ends, unless Soldierstone can find a way to get 3 seconds away from Rustman, which I just don't believe is going to happen.
But remember, Tim, ARL and Soldierstone, they're teammates. Now, remember last week, these two were not giving each other positions, and if I remember it right, this was kind of the similarity where would Soldierstone let ARL, or ARL let Soldierstone through to get the penalty to get rid of it. It's team orders, but I don't think that it's team orders at all. I think they're just letting them race at all. Yellow flags at the 3, that is Spud. So Spud has spun out at turn 12, which people have made massive mistakes, which I did not surprise at all on turn 12. But hopefully Spud will push on. But either way, Tim, either way, this will bring Jeff's new friends into, which I'm guessing would be in 1st place, because O'Steven in 6th, 20, 17, 17, 15, 25 points. The way O'Steven and Spud are for, 50, 15 and 10, 25 points. Actually, might be 318 as the constructors. Oh no, multi-stop racing might just be ahead, Tim. Might be just ahead, but they will close the gap. ARL, we'll get back to you on the points standings, Tim. Sorry.
Well, take a look at this, though, Malk. The gap between Soldierstone and Rustman in 2 laps have now increased to 3.2 seconds with just 2 more laps to go. The question is, though, does Soldierstone even try to overtake his teammate? There's realistically no reason he should. And I'm not even talking about team orders, and I'm not talking about, you know, a driver's championship. It's just the fact that that is a huge risk to try to undertake when you have a time penalty and you know you're going to lose out anyway. If he did not have a time penalty, then I'd personally say fair game, race it out, just don't run into each other. But when you got a time penalty, I think the best thing you can do is just be supportive to your teammate, so that way you can both finish 1 and 2 instead of you both finish off the track right before the start-finish line.
Absolutely. Tim, I've just had to do the recalculation again. I take it back. Both unless I'm mistaken, Morris Stop Racing and Jeff's new friends will be equal points on the constructors with 318 points if it stays like this. And I'm saying this, if the top two of ARL, Sunstone, Jintoga's got 3 second time belts for multiple warnings, and also Stephen and Sir Spud, if on 6th and 11th place, and they come up to the final lap of this frantic Spanish Grand Prix. The way it looks at the minute, Tim, this is a classic season as always.
And it's going to continue to be a classic season. Party Trev losing out massively early on in this race. Russman, as long as he makes it back around one more time, he will gain massively in the points. But ARL will be the winner if he stays where he is, stays on track, doesn't get any time penalties, all the ifs, ands, or buts out the window. He just needs to keep it clean, and he can win this race. He has been not really a dominant force, but definitely a force to be reckoned with in this race. And once he got the lead, he really never looked back, and it's been him and his teammate pretty much running nose to tail more or less the entire race, working together, supporting each other, being good friends, being Jeff's new friends, pun there for you, and trying to get a good day in the constructor standings. But in the third and final sector now, just a handful of corners to go, and ARL can say that he has won the Spanish Grand Prix. He told us earlier before the race that the championship was not over and that he's going to do whatever he has to try to keep himself in contention, and out of the final corner, he did what he had to do today. ARL is your winner in the Spanish Grand Prix. Soldier Stone finishes in second, and he will hold on to it after Russman drops back 3 seconds more than he needed to behind Soldier Stone. Russman in third, Nitro Gash in fourth, fifth is Michael Luke with Steven finishing in sixth, seventh is Sunboy. If he's able to make it to the line, yes he is, but will he lose out to JP? Who's got more time penalties? Here's the update on the time penalties, and it's going to be JP that loses out massively, even to Ginger Tiger, so JP will go to 9th place. Ginger Tiger should jump him into 8th, and there you see it. No, actually, JP, he does hang on to 8th, and Ginger Tiger goes to 9th. So Matty in 10th, not sure where my math skills were there, Malk. And Sir Spud in 11th, rounding up the field, but he still gets points.
Mate, I will let you off, as always, because you do a stellar of a job in the commentators box. So don't worry, don't panic. I will do the standing points. If I get it wrong, it's my fault, not you. You do a fantastic job, as always, Tim, don't worry. So Spud is just coming up to the last third sector now. While we wait for Sir Spud, Ellie says, great race today, thanks to the commentary, lads. No worries, Ellie, I hope you enjoyed the race. As always, ARL is absolutely delighted. Yes! Woo! Ah! That's what he's hoping for as well. And Reed says, a solid race, hope for a better ending, though. Yeah, I would have hoped for a better ending. But it has kind of switched, though, because Russman did get the win last week, and Russman finishes in 3rd place. But Russman is the driver of the day as well, so fantastic drive from him, and he'll be absolutely delighted. But well done to ARL, who has won the Spanish Grand Prix, banging out with his teammate of Sunstone in 2nd place. But correct me if I'm wrong, the battle for the constructors, they are equal points. We'll get that corrected if it is completely wrong next week. But it is 318 points between O'Steven and Sir Spud's team, as well as ARL's and Soldier Stone's team as well. But Tim, I'll let you do the honours for the race classification.
And here are your official finishing results for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Spanish Grand Prix. ARL in first, Soldier Stone. In second, Russman. In third, Nitro Gash. In fourth, Michael Luke. In fifth, sixth is O'Steven Sunboy. In 7th, 8th is JP Ginger Tiger. In 9th, 10th is Maddie Sir Spud. In 11th, Turok. In 12th, Keza. In 13th, Sab. In 14th, 15th is Party Trev. And Sweet Queen 80 in the 16th position. And didn't mention it during the race because we did not have time, but again, thank you to our sponsors, Driver61, Nailcoat Hall, GT Omega, and Gridfinder.com for jumping on board and supporting us. That was a hectic race, and we're glad that you were able to be a part of it. We will talk to our top 3 finishers here in just a moment.
Yeah, we're just going to get the drivers in, so bear with us a sec to make sure they're joining the commentators box. I know one of them is, but I just want to make sure that they to make sure they're joining the commentators box. to make sure they are all set, ready to go, because we won't have much time during the interviews itself. But we're just waiting. I believe Russman's in, so we will get his interviews in a moment too. But so it's just joined in. We're just waiting for IRL to join in as well. But for the guys that watch the stream and still watching it, what's your thoughts on the race? What's your thoughts overall? Did you enjoy it? What was your best moments in the race? Was there great moments that you've never seen before? Just tell us your thoughts. If you like it, if you like the race and want to see it again, make sure you like and subscribe to Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators, as well as the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel as well for this stream. But I believe we've got the top three. I think it's the same top three, correct me if I'm wrong, from last week, but it's in different order. But before you say anything, guys, don't you dare say anything just yet. Make sure your allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the top three drivers will get themselves sorted and ready to go, we'll hear their thoughts of their fantastic race at the Spanish Grand Prix and the battle for the top two teammates. And we'll mention about the points to them in a moment too. But just to recap, it was a quick math, so I do apologise if I got it completely wrong. I believe the two teams are joint first with 318 points, if my math is correct, between ARL's and Soulstone's Jeff's new friends, and also Stevens as the Spud's multi-stop races. So those are the two teams to watch out for, and they're both, I believe, they're on 318 points. Guys, are you all set, ready to go?
All good.
All good.
Cool. Okay, so I will pass you over to Tim, who will be doing the commentating. He has just done the commentating. He'll do the questions for the top three drivers. So Tim, over to you, mate.
And we'll talk to our winner, ARL in the Aston Martin. You told us before the race that you were going to do whatever you had to do to keep yourself in contention for this championship, because the championship was not over yet. And I think that you just about done it. I'm not sure if you had the fastest lap or not, but beyond that, in the pole, you had the perfect race. Obviously, Michael had the pole, but you got the ultimate victory, which was the race win. How does it feel?
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, congrats, of course, to my teammate and Russman. Once again, we're always battling hard. Whether, that's within 1 or 2 seconds, it's still quite pressuring. But yeah, it was an insane race. I was coming into this Grand Prix looking for a podium again. A race win, of course. I would aim for that always. I would always aim 100% effort into the races. But yeah, I'm insanely delighted because this is big points for the championship and the constructors. So yeah, when I say it's not over, it really isn't over. And we've had really bad luck these past few races. So we've come back strong.
Now tell us about that first lap, because obviously that was a bit of a doozy between Michael and Keza, but you and Soldier Stone really benefited from that one.
Yeah, I thought we had a really good quali, P4 and P5. And the whole season we've had really good qualifying. We've been so close to each other and we've been really consistent with it. And I think that's what probably plays the most important part in a championship. Obviously, it's quite a few races over a season. But yeah, of course, those two drivers, I did see them crashing up ahead. Of course, first lap, there's always a lot of incidents, always a lot of cars around you. Try to just keep it clean, and because there's 33 laps ahead. You've got chances. You can lose the race in one corner, but you can't win it in a corner. So we just focused on get it past the first few laps and then see where it goes from there. But yeah, we really benefited from that.
Well, congratulations, ARL, on your win today, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it.
Thank you.
Now we'll talk to ARL's teammate in the McLaren, Soldier Stone, part of Jeff's new friends. So Soldier Stone, it kind of seemed like you were there mainly to be the support to your teammate today, and you all did a fantastic job of sticking together and really keeping it close between you two without actually having any incidents. And of course you were able to overcome the 3-second time penalty at the end to finish 1-2. So how do you feel now about your chance in the constructor standings?
Well, hello everyone. Well done to the podium. Yeah, they call me the bodyguard. Like I said last race, I was on ARL's backside, beating everyone off.
And I think that is going to be your official Invictus Racing League nickname now, is Soldier Stone the Bodyguard. So, but realistically though, how did you think that this race was going to go? And I'm talking about before qualifying, before the race, you two have your goals, but versus your goals and your realistic expectations, were they any different?
Well, we're always fighting for the podium. We're both quite quick. I know ARL's still in for the championship. I'm quite off the pace for getting back in there, but it was mainly just fighting for the podium and helping them out on the way if I could. And luckily enough, we just stuck with each other. I had to get through a bit of traffic to stay with him. And then Russman started applying a bit of the pressure, but I had quite a bit of DRS. But I made a few mistakes and he got in the DRS. And then it was a bit of a battle to get out of that DRS. I don't know what happened to him, but he kind of dropped off the pace.
Well, nonetheless, you two did a fantastic job. Congratulations, Soldier Stone, on your second place.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say thank you for the COD fans watching the stream, giving me support.
There you go. Big shout out to his fans there from Soldier Stone. Now we'll go ahead and talk to Russman in the AlphaTauri. So, Russman, going into this race, you were the points leader. Leaving this race, you are the points leader after a podium. But it seemed like Spain really wasn't a track that agreed with you. Am I correct in saying that, especially the final few corners? Is Russman with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, firstly, congratulations to the podium. Yeah, great drive, Soldier Stone, ARL. Congratulations on the win. I've got to say, Spain isn't one of my favourite tracks. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle for me. Didn't do too badly last night, but yeah, I found it a struggle today for some reason. Obviously, I was in the AlphaTauri, so I was lacking a bit of pace. But man, another crazy race. I mean, I can't remember what lap the safety car came out, but I never envisaged making a set of mediums last from that point to the end of the race. Soldier Stone was sort of wondering what had happened to me to drop so far off at the end there. Man, my tyres were absolutely battered. My front left was on 72%. The last thing I wanted to do was get a puncture towards the end, so yeah, I was just falling back and back and back. But absolutely thrilled to hold on to third place this evening.
So I guess you decided to race smarter and not harder in that instance. We did not realize that your tire wear was actually that bad, so good job to you for hanging on to that. But how are you feeling about your championship chances now? Because obviously you are in the lead, and with Party Trev wrecking out of this race, you have gained a significant margin over him. ARL and Soldier Stone might have gained on you a little bit, but you're still looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, Spain's never been one of my favourites. I was in an AlphaTauri, so I knew I was going to be lacking a bit of pace to sort of challenge for another race win today. I saw Party Trev qualify ahead of me, and I thought today is just damage limitation. Get as many points as you can and get out of here alive. So yeah, like I say, to finish on the podium is surprising, but I'm absolutely thrilled. So yeah, I'll go away, points lead, 2 races to go, so it's all to play for.
Well, congratulations, Russman, on your podium finish. And with that, we're about wrapped up. Malk, do you have any closing thoughts?
It's been a great race. There's so many battles galore. It took up to like lap 16, 17 for the first penalty. So great racing, everyone, to be fair. And well done to ARL for making the championship a bit spicier. than ever before with Solarstone in second. I'm sure them two either working together. Well, I don't wonder if Solarstone tried to make the move onto ARL a couple of times for teasing as well to try and get the extra points. We don't know, but ARL, well done to him. He finished off as a winner. Solarstone in second, and well done to Russman, who went from first to third, from first last week in the Portuguese to third in the Spanish Grand Prix, and nearly lost out to Nigel Gaston in the end. But cheers for that, guys, and I believe that is a wrap, I believe, Tim.
And with that, that is all that we have for you, but congratulations to our top 3 finishers. Thank you to all the drivers at RaceWiz, and thank you to everyone who watched the stream. This has been the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by GridFinder.com, Nailcoat Hall, GT Omega, and Driver61. Big thank you to our sponsors for jumping on board, supporting the stream, and the league as a whole. And until next time, have fun, and goodbye.